Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafting Adventures with Amy. Welcome to any new subscribers and welcome back to people that keep coming back and watching my videos. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I steam. If I need to block something, a square or like a section from Warm Up America, I do a steam blocking. And so I thought today I would show you how I do it. I'm going to try a different camera setting out too, one that'll be pointing at the table. So we'll have to see how it all works out. I haven't done this yet. So the next blanket I'm working on for Pete's Blankets of Hope is a blanket that I made a bunch of squares for. And I've blocked a bunch of the squares already. So I'm gonna do a video on how I block them. Now this just kind of shows you what a blocked square, how it looks really nice and flat. Well, that's because I'm holding it up, but it looks really nice and flat. And a square, before it gets blocked, is not as nice and flat. They're easier to put together when they lay nice and flat. So I'm going to show how I block them to make them lay nice and flat. Now the blanket I'm making has four different blues colors and 2 greens. Pete's Blanket of Hope, the mom, her name is Sandy, and she sent a bag of different colored yarns home with me to make something, to make a blanket. So there were all these colors in the middle were there. This is just Aran color, Red Heart Super Saver Aran, and I used a lot of it because each square has it around it. So I added out of my stash to it because I had the same thing here. So I just thought I would show the different colors. Here is one of the blue, a darker blue. Here is a green. And some of the blues, the shade is like barely different, but this is like a shade different. It's kind of hard to see. It's a little bit more like a country blue, where this is a dark blue. And then this is a lighter blue. And then this is a lot lighter blue. So there's the 4 different shades of blue. I graphed it out in a spreadsheet with different shades of blue. So I kind of know how I'm going to put it together. And then there's a green, another green. So there's 2 different greens and then 4 different blues. I have all of them blocked out except some of this darker blue. I need to block out a bunch of them. So yeah, I'm going to show you the different supplies I use and how I do it. This is the amount that I need to block yet. None of these have been blocked. So I like to steam block them. You can just wet block yours too. You don't have to use a steamer. You need a steamer. I have mine plugged in. It's not running yet because it's a little noisy because it boils the water in here. And this is distilled water. So you need distilled water. And I just bring it downstairs in a Sprite bottle. I use a CPAP machine and I use distilled water in that. So I don't want to bring a whole jug down here because I don't block things real often. So I just have this much. So if I waste it, I'm not wasting a whole jug of it. But you just have to put it in here. This one here, you can buy steamers. This is like a clothing, it says on the bottom, a garment steamer. We used it for my daughter's wedding as well to steam the bridesmaid dresses and stuff that were a little wrinkly. But it's super easy because you just, untwist the top, open it, pour your water in there. There's a maximum. There's a line that says max here. And that's how high you can do it. You don't have to do that much if you don't have very much to steam. And then you literally just put this back on, and it's got like little notches and they fit through in the whole spots here. And so you put the notches in there and you just hook it back on. Make sure it's in place. It does have on the one side, it can't really see, but it says open and close on there. And then this is a power button. So when you're ready, you just turn it on and then it'll heat it up and it'll kind of boil the water in here. It's kind of fun. I did this one day when I was upstairs with my daycare kids, and they enjoyed watching the water boil. But you got a huge window in the front here too that you can see the water boiling. So that's my steamer that I use. So later on you might hear that going, and it just sounds like boiling water. So then you need to have, move my stuff around here. You need to have blocking boards, and I got mine off of Amazon. They came in a nice heavy duty felt case with a zipper that goes around 3 sides, and it's got a handle on it, and it's got a pocket. I think this came with, you know, like some T-pins or something in here. I don't remember exactly what was in this pocket. It's pretty tight on there, so you wouldn't be able to fit much really bulky stuff in there. But I just carry it. I can carry it upstairs, downstairs, wherever I need to go with it. But you just unzip it. And like I said, three out of the 4 sides unzip. I've used them a lot, so there's a lot of pinholes in them. But they're just blocking boards. They have graphs on them, so you can, you know, if you want something like these, I wanted them to be around 6 by 6. So each of these squares is an inch by an inch. So I just made sure I had them 6 inches down and across. Now I like these two because they go together like a puzzle. I did notice the other day when I did some upstairs, I didn't have them lined up very well. So I couldn't use, you know, 3 on this side and 3 on this side because I didn't have the lines. So you just put it together like a puzzle. It's easier to do flat on a surface, but seeing as I'm kind of showing you, the back is just plain. And then, seeing this one isn't even put together right, you can see how the lines don't go evenly across. So that would be a little bit harder to judge the 1 inch by 1 inch. But you can just keep adding them on, and you'll see that when I'm going to do a overhead shot too. I'm going to do it where you can watch me doing it better. This one here, you can see how the lines line up a lot better. See how they're lining up better? So you just have to look a little bit and make sure you're getting them lined up right. And then you also need to have, you can use T-pins, which is like a straight pin with a T across the top. They're easy to hold on to, and they don't, seeing as you're using water, you want something that's not going to rust. Pins that won't rust. But I like to use these, they're called many different things, but they're like knit blockers. This is rainbow. All of mine I've ordered off of Amazon, so you can order them right off of Amazon. But these are rainbow knit blockers, and it's rainbow because they're all different colors. They're kind of fun. Learning for daycare. I could say, hey, can you get me the green one? And then these are called knit blockers and pin kit. And I think all of these also came with a little bag or a little thing of the T-pins. So, but these are just white ones. And in the bottom of each one, there's a piece of styrofoam. Because then when you put them away, you poke them into that styrofoam, and then they sit in the boxes nice. Now this one I just got, when I was doing these, I couldn't put a ton of them out because you do use, at least I used a lot of the pins, and I ran out and I couldn't do a bunch of them. So I did order some more. So this is a new set, and these are just pink ones. And they, again, are just right off of Amazon. They're pink ones, and they're in that foam on the bottom. This one here had a foam piece across the top, so they wouldn't like do that in the mail in shipping. Here's another set that I already had. They just don't all, I don't know how, aren't all the same thing, but these are like this. These have rounded tops. Some are rounded, some are square. And right in the middle here is where they had some of the T-pins on this one. The pink one did not come with them because I chose a set without them. You can choose either one. And then this is one that I just got as well. This and the pink ones. And then these I think are just all white. These are a bunch of small ones because sometimes you just need, you have one side or something that's like bowing in a little bit and you just need a little something to pull it out and you don't have enough small ones. So that's all the supplies you need to do steam or just wet blocking. Again, you can just use, you can get your stuff wet underwater and block it out as well. You don't have to use a steam thing, but I just kind of wanted to get it. So I am going to switch my camera around and you'll be able to see my tabletop, and we will we'll block a couple of them out. We'll pin them and block them out so you can see how I do it. So I think that was all my supplies, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, everyone, I am back. Now, as you can see, well, I'll show you after because I don't want to move the blocking boards yet right now because I might move it out of screen to where you can't see. I'm going to work right here. I've got 8 on my, I put 4 of the blocking boards together, and I've got 8 on there, and I'm going to put the 9th one right there in the middle. I'm going to use the rainbow ones just because they're fun. I've used some of each one, except the purple box. I haven't used that yet, but here's how I like to do mine. Now, I didn't really show you the pins. See, they're like the, you have to excuse my fingernails. I'm going through a bad fingernail stage. They're just peeling and breaking, and we're having a tough time right now. But here's what a pin looks like. You can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has 8 of the pins. They're very sharp. I've poked myself a few times getting them out of the box. But this is a nice handle to hold on to. Now, I like to do the 4 corners first. And so I like to make sure I'll hold this corner, and then I'm pinning that one. And I like to hold this one up here and then get it kind of towards the edge, kind of pull it in here and just push them in. I'm gonna bump my elbow. I'm gonna turn on my steamer, so if you start hearing some bubbling, that would be that. And then we're gonna do this opposite corner. And again, I'm just gonna pull, oh, there goes the steamer. We're gonna pull it here and put this one in right here. So now we got the 2 corners done. And then we'll put this one on this corner. Some of them don't really need to be pulled to meet the 6x6 that I'm trying to do, but they just need to be flattened out, and that's where the steaming really helps. Then we'll get this corner. And then I like to use, if I have enough, sometimes I don't have enough of the small ones. Steamer might get a little loud here, so, but we'll do 1. There's number 2. Number 3. And number 4. So that steams the 4 corners. That blocks the 4 corners. Now I'm just going to move this around a little bit so I can show you that I do have, you know, I did block on my, this one's a little wonky in here, but when you take it out, it's because I got this pin in there kind of crooked. See, then it's better. And the steamer quiets down once it gets boiling more. But yeah, you can see that I do have them all on here. I have 9 of them. Now, I'm not positive if I'm going to be able to show the steaming part very well with the camera pointing down. But you can kind of hear, I don't know if you can see because I can't see what the camera is showing, but the water is boiling, boiling in there. And then I kind of lift up on the board, the blocking mats, and the steam will be coming out, of course, the end here. And I can feel that it's coming out. It's hot steam. So you got to be careful so you don't burn yourself. But I just like to go like this. And you can kind of hear it's getting close to the sections, the squares. And you just put steam on them. And it just pretty much waters them down. That's why you can just do water. You can just water block. I hope this is showing in the camera because I really am not positive what's all in there. I haven't done this kind of video before where I've shown how I've done something. But yeah, you just get them, and then if you touch them, you can tell that they're wet. And then it doesn't take a super long time to dry if you don't douse them with, you know, soak them. You know, it's just acrylic yarn, so it doesn't take that much time to dry. You can just do some more. And I don't know how much water it takes. It just depends on how much steaming, you know, how much you steam them as to how much water you'll go through. I just put water in and go, because you can always add more into it. I have stuff over here that I'm knocking with these blocking boards. So yeah, I'm not going to show me steaming all of them. I will be steaming them all, and I've got a few more that I need to do yet. So that's how I do steaming. That's how I block any sections. Sometimes when I get sections from Warm Up America, quite often with like knit ones, they're a little wonky or a little wobbly looking on the edges, so then I'll steam block them and then they come out really nice so I can use them. Let me turn the camera back around. Okay, so that's how I do steam blocking. Again, if you didn't see, let me show you one more time. All of them put on here. So yeah, there's 3 rows of 3 each in each row. And I'll just steam block them all, and I have 4 more squares left to do. And I'll just add them on here. I just didn't have enough. It doesn't, I'll have to use 4 more boards to get those 4 done. So, but I just wanted to show you how I steam block things. So until next time, my next video, which will probably be a blanket video because I'm going to get this blanket put together now. Enjoy your craft, whatever craft it is. Thanks for watching. See you next time.